In our previous video, we installed the Anaconda Navigator software into our Mac machine. If your machine is Windows PC, the procedure is the same, and you should see the same software logo on your desktop. After clicking the application, we see the whole screen of Anaconda Navigator. We also created a new dedicated virtual environment named as Python Basics. Initially, there were only 19 packages in this environment, but after both Jupyter Lab and Notebook were installed in the previous video, there are more than 100 packages now. We launched the Jupyter Notebook first in the home main panel by clicking the launch button under the application logo. Then, we also launched the Jupyter Lab. The two applications have slightly different format, but we will see they are very similar in this video. We will also introduce other common Python integrated development environment software in this video. There are many different Python integrated development environment IDEs available nowadays. Here lists 10 commonly used IDEs suit users' purposes. In this video, let us focus on 5 of them. Start with Jupyter. As we haven't seen earlier, both Jupyter Lab and Notebook belong to this IDE. Then we will briefly introduce Spyder, Visual Studio Code, PyCharm, and Atom. Each of them has some unique features and benefits. Now, let us go through the main features of Jupyter Notebook. It is the most commonly used Python IDE for teachers and programming beginners, mainly because it helps the teachers and learners to present the Python codes and results, which makes students to follow the teaching more easily. Of course, once students learn more about programming and start to collaborate as a group, other IDEs will provide more features of team collaborations. In the beginning of learning programming, it is important to check errors step by step and be consistent with the teachers. Python script line by line, you will see Jupyter Notebook or Lab makes easy for learners to follow the teaching. This is why in this Python basic module, we will use Jupyter as our main IDE. After this introduction module, students normally start to use more advanced IDEs such as Visual Studio Codes or PyCharm. After launching the Jupyter Notebook in the Anaconda Navigator, the Jupyter Notebook will be opened, and it looks like a normal web page. However, it is not connected to the web since it uses a local host address. Of course, it can be easily connected to the web via different settings or using Python codes. We will discuss these later on in this module. There are a few options on the top of page named as File, View, Settings, and Help. At this stage, we will not discuss them, but you can open your own machine and click these options to see the details. Below these options, 2 main panels show the files of our computer and the currently running notebooks. In the Files main panel, it displays the folders of our computer, so we can find where we want to open or save our Jupyter Notebook to use. The running main panel shows the notebooks that we are opening right now. Since we just opened the Jupyter Notebook, there is no any notebook running at this time. Go back to the Files main panel. We found the notebooks that we want to open. You can create new notebook by clicking the top right corner New button or uploading from external drivers, or clicking the existing Jupyter notebooks in your machine. As you can see, all Jupyter notebooks have IPYNB extension. Your teachers may share their notebooks with you, so you can open them in your own machine as well. Right now, we have 6 notebooks in our folder. We will work with these notebooks in the future videos one by one. If we open the first one, it will launch a new web page, and the content will be displayed cell by cell. We will go through all of these cells in the future video, but before that, let us create a new notebook and understand the main features of this IDE. Click the first line under the New button. Python 3, a new notebook will be created in the File main panel named as an untitled.ipynb file, and a web page will be launched. If you do not see the new web page, check the pop-up windows carefully, since your web browser may prevent a new web page to be opened automatically. On the top right corner, you can see if you prefer to use the Jupyter Lab interface. By clicking the Jupyter Lab button, the web page will be opened again by the Jupyter Lab. Both IDEs have similar features, only the interface is different, so when you become familiar with Jupyter, you will use one of them that you prefer. At this stage, let us stay focused on the Jupyter Notebook. You can update the file name directly by clicking the top line and rename it in a pop-up window. Here we named it as my first notebook, then save it, so the file name is changed from untitled to my first notebook. There are many options on the top panel that start with File, Edit, View, Run, Kernel, Setting, and Help, which is similar to a traditional text editor such as Microsoft Words. You can click each of them in your own machine to see the details. We will discuss them in the future videos when we need some of the features during our study. But now, let us focus on the main panel below. Since it is a new notebook, there is no any Python code, and the first line is an empty cell. We can write Python code in the cell, as well as write normal text, but we need the machine to understand whether it is a Python code or a normal text. This is the job of one button that is above the cell as highlighted now. Click it. We can see 3 options in the drop-down menu. If we write 1+1 in the cell and select code in the drop-down menu, then click the Run button above the cell as highlighted now. The machine will understand it is a Python code and it will calculate the numbers, which is equal to 2. However, if we select the markdown in the drop-down menu, then the machine will see 1+1 as a normal text and will not calculate it. If we select the raw in the drop-down menu, then it will do nothing. Look carefully at the cells. An index is created when you run the Python code. This index records the number or step that you run the cells with Python codes. If the Python code in the cell is too long and takes a long time to run, then the index will become a star, so it shows the machine is running the cell and you need to take a seat and wait. Once you have many cells in this notebook, you can use the button in the right side of the cell to adjust the positions of cells, as well as add or delete new cells. To sum up, at this initial stage, these options are important to remember. Save button to save the notebook regularly, plus button to create a new cell below the existing cells, cutting cells, copying cells, running the cells, stopping the cell where it takes too long to run the Python codes, refresh the running. We will use all of these buttons regularly in the future videos. Now, let us look at the interface of Jupyter Lab. It rearranged the elements of Jupyter Notebook so it helps users to organize the menu elements better. On the left panel, you have the file locations, so it helps users to find the notebooks in their machine. On the right side main panel, you have more options. You can open a notebook, or you can use console to run Python code directly. This is more sophisticated to beginners. You have other options such as launch terminal and open markdown files and so on. It gives more advanced users freedom to launch more tools. We suggest beginners start with the Jupyter Notebook as explained earlier. Then try this Jupyter Lab to get more features. By clicking the first option in the main panel, we open a new notebook in the Jupyter Lab. The screen setting or format is exactly same as the Jupyter Notebook earlier. We now introduce a few other popular Python IDEs. They have more advanced features. We will not spend too much time on these IDEs, since after you finish this module, you will have your own time to try these popular tools. Also, more likely, after you get a job and work as a team with your colleagues, they will ask you to use their preferred IDEs. Many students use Visual Studio Code immediately after learning Jupyter Notebook and Python, since it is the IDE that developed by Microsoft and has many powerful automated tools, as well as connecting to popular GitHub features. If you do not have any existing preference, then we suggest to try this IDE first before using other more advanced IDEs. If you are looking for jobs in software engineering and require heavy programming, then learn PyCharm as soon as possible may give you some advantages. If you are a scientist or want to become scientist in the near future, or if you know other scientific programming language such as R or MATLAB already, then we suggest you to try Spyder, since the interface of this IDE is very similar to these popular scientific programming software. As this page shows, Spyder balanced the power and the ease of use among these 4 different IDEs that we just introduced. To sum up, when considering different IDEs, you should think the following key questions. First, do you want to waste or invest more time to learn new features, or just want to learn Python as quick as possible? If yes, Then simple IDE such as Jupyter Notebook or Spyder will help you to stay focused on learning Python codes. Second, after knowing Python very well, do you want to work together with other teammates and colleagues? Then more advanced features in PyCharm and Visual Studio Code will help you to work more efficiently, such as group projects and connections with GitHub, as well as recording updates and editings by different developers. Finally, always check what your future employer's requirements. Which IDE is the common platform in the company? If you work with scientists, then Spyder may be a good choice to learn first. In the next videos, we will start to learn and write Python script and coding in the Jupyter Notebook.